Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good morning to all. For today, me Muhammad IZZATHAZIQ bin KHUZAINI will be presenting of our new chapter which is Green Business Strategy on the country of Tunisia. First of all, I'm going to introduce our country for today, which is Tunisia. It is the smallest country in North Africa and the Maghreb region. It is situated between Algeria and Libya and it has population of 11.7 million only. Their major language is Arabic and also French, while their major religion is Islamic. Tunisian dinar is the main currency of this country, and on your right side of the slide, you can see the national flag of Tunisia. Next, we're gonna proceed into the economy of Tunisia. Tunisia is a developing country with lower middle income economy. The GDP growth is at 4.0% and the unemployment rate is at 15.5%. Their main industries are petroleum, mining, tourism, textiles, footwear, agribusiness, and beverages, while their main exports are clothing, semi-finished goods and textile, footwear, agribusiness, and beverages. Their main exports are clothing, semi-finished goods and textiles, agricultural products, mechanical goods, first aid and chemicals, hydrocarbons, and electrical equipment, while their main import partners are mainly France, Italy, Germany, China, Algeria, Turkey, Spain, Russia, USA, and Belgium. Tunisia has a bit of history regarding the so-called of Arab Spring, which an uprising against the governments in various countries in North Africa and the Middle East in 2011. The Tunisians' current issues are, apart from COVID-19 pandemic issue, Tunisia is facing political crisis due to country post-revolution separation of powers. Next, we're gonna proceed into our chapter for this subject, which is Green Business Strategy. Green business strategy is the tendency to integrate environmental issues in business strategy across sub-business functions such as manufacturing, supply chain, finance, human resources, and marketing in international markets. This is quoted by Banerjee 2002. There are a few challenges that regarding green business strategy, which are first, not enough capital allocation. Frequently, companies lack the internal mechanisms to implement sustainable initiatives. The issue is rooted in reduced capital allocations for this purpose. For instance, decision makers inside companies overlook the importance of reducing exposure to energy price volatility and the environmental impacts of their internal processes, mainly because they think the costs associated with similar decisions are too high. Second, poor collaboration. Poor collaboration between sustainability teams and financial teams. This is yet another challenge rooted in financial matters. Poor collaboration and divergent opinions and priorities of these two teams make the engagement in green initiative difficult. In most cases, sustainability teams are brought into the project management team too late to make or to influence the project towards a sustainable path. This obstacle is also supplemented by the financial team's unwillingness to allocate sufficient funds for such an initiative. And next, the lack of metrics to account for the level of environmental sustainability. Most companies are not fully aware of their expense over time. They lack proper methods to measure their external costs and other costs associated with traditional business models. This makes them unable to properly measure and assess the overall savings or expense involved by a greener approach. Climate change, the shrinking water supply, these are not accounted for in this company's case. Next, we're gonna move on to importance of incorporating green practices into business practice. First importance is good practice can attract new customers. Promoting your environmentally friendly methods can set your business apart from your competitors and attract new customers who want to buy products and services from an environmentally friendly business. Next, improve sustainability. Reducing the environmental impact of your business will improve the sustainability of your business. If you are less dependent on natural resources than your competitors and have ways to deal with rising costs due to climate change, your business will have a greater chance of long-term success. And lastly, recycling reduce your costs. Avoiding, reducing, reusing, and recycling can lower your costs. For example, a few simple changes to how you deal with paper can involve your staff in environmentally friendly process while saving your money. For example, avoid using materials unnecessarily. Reduce your paper needs by asking staff to print double-sided. Reuse by encouraging staff to use scrap paper for message taking instead of purchasing message pads. And recycling by shredding excess paper. You could recycle this commercially or invite staff to take it home for their compost or mulch heads. Next, we're gonna proceed to green business strategy in Tunisia. For Tunisia, the transition to a green economy offers opportunities in several sectors, in particular waste management, water management and treatment, agriculture, eco-agriculture, infrastructure, efforts to improve efficiency in buildings and industry, renewable energy and eco. Develop a strategy and set the regulatory framework for promoting green employment is currently in progress. But before that, according to the study of effectiveness of environmental policies adopted by the Tunisian industrial company by Fakfa Hamadi, the Tunisian industrial companies relatively adopt environmental policies. So we can say that the Tunisian industrial companies are adapting environmental policies and practice green business strategy in their country. Before that, we're gonna proceed to the pollutant industries in Tunisia. According to statistics compiled by the Ministry of Industry related to the polluting companies operating in Tunisia, almost 20% of Tunisian industrial companies are pollutants, 70% of which are classified as highly pollutant. Most highly pollutant companies operate in the food industry, the chemical industry, the textile and clothing, and in the leather industry and footwear. Most surveyed firms belong to these sectors, which are included in the graph, which are agro-food, which almost 20%, and followed by plastic industries, electrical and household appliances, pants, glues, and resin. These industries are the most highly pollutant industries in Tunisia. Next, we're gonna proceed into the aspects of green business strategy in Tunisia. First, water pollution. Water quality in Tunisia has been a long-standing problem in the country located in the northernmost part of Africa. Data indicates that most water resources are polluted and that the majority of these pollutants stem from wastewater discharge, industrial effluents, and agricultural activities. Although efforts have been made within the last decade to create wastewater facilities, overall, the quality of the water remains poor and could continue to worsen if more is not done to reverse the increasing pollution. Next, chemicals and waste management. Chemicals and waste management is a pressing issue in Tunisia. The Mediterranean country produces over 2.5 million tons of rubbish each year, with wastewater treatment plants expelling an additional 247 million cubic meters of wastewater annually into the Mediterranean and inland waterways. Tunisia has in recent years stepped up efforts to confront this challenge, providing national workshops on waste management, improving the treatment and disposal of healthcare waste, and ratifying international treaties like the Basel, Rotterdam, and Stockholm Conventions. However, the country still faces some significant hurdles in tackling this issue. Next, electrical energy. Approximately 97% of Tunisia's electrical is generated from fossil fuels, mainly natural gas. In 2020, nearly 57% of Tunisia's natural gas needs were met through imports, mainly from Algeria. Local gas production comes from the concessions of the country's National Exploration Company (ETAP), as well as foreign companies' concessions. The highly anticipated Nawara gas field, which finally started production in early 2020, is expected to help reduce the overall energy deficit by 20% and gas imports by 30% once it reaches peak production. Only 3% of Tunisia's electricity is generated from renewables, including hydroelectric, solar, and wind energy. Lastly, renewable energy. The government of Tunisia is highly interested in diversifying into renewable energy technologies to help meet growing domestic electrical demand. The Renewable Energy Law adopted in 2015 encouraged private businesses to generate and use clean energy. In May 2019, the parliament passed a bill to improve the business climate, permitting businesses to create separate special purpose vehicles entirely dedicated to power generations. This policy changes how and allows companies to produce power for their own consumption at more competitive prices. At the end of 2020, Tunisia had about 400 megawatt of installed renewable energy capacity, of which 2044 megawatt was wind power, 89 megawatt solar power, 79 megawatt by private entities and 10 megawatt by STEG, and 62 megawatt of hydroelectric power, representing a combined of 6% of national energy production capacity. The government of Tunisia aims to raise the usage of renewable energy resources to 30% of total power capacity by 2030. Next, I'm going to focusing STEG company, which located in Tunisia. STEG company has roles to electrify the country, develop the natural gas network, realize the electrification and gas infrastructure. It has built 20 power plants of combined cycle, steam and gas turbine, hydraulic and wind. Moreover, STEG is present all over Tunisia. STEG is supplying more than 2,500,000 customers with electricity, which including domestic, professional, industrial, agricultural, administrative, through duty-free districts and 79 agencies. For STEG company in Malaysia, we can relate STEG company with TNB and Petronas. So that's all from me for this chapter on this country, Tunisia. Thank you from me. And if you have any questions, you can drop in the chat box. Thank you.